Immediately my eyes opened in the spirit and I saw this demon, tall being, red eyes with these like dread looking things. And he was walking in step with me. And so the second I stopped and he noticed I saw him, he stopped. Hi, family. Welcome to another Truth and Love devotional. My name is Ludi. So glad to see you guys today. We are looking at an interesting story in the book of Numbers, and this is called the rebellion of Korah. We're not going to go into the fullness of it, but read the Bible. It's very interesting. But we're reading chapter 16. We're starting in verse 25. Korah basically rose up and was trying to get the people to rebel against Moses and overthrow him and kill him. All kind of fun stuff happened, in the desert. And so this is the judgment that is rendered upon Korah. Verse 23. So the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the congregation, saying, Get away from the tent of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Then Moses rose and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, Depart now from the tent of these wicked men, touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins. And so we're going to go down to verse 31. Now it came to pass, as he finished speaking all these words, that the ground split apart under them, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households, and all the men with Korah with all their goods. So they and all those with them went down alive into the pit. The earth closed over them, and they perished from among the assembly. The word of the Lord. All right. So I was doing my Bible study, and I read this a few weeks ago. And the revelation that the Lord was giving me is that there are times that the Lord will tell you to separate yourself from a person, some people from an organization, because you don't understand what's about to come upon them. The warning to the people was get away from them and don't touch anything belonging to them. And some of the issues you might be dealing with in your life have nothing to do with you and everything to do with who you've surrounded yourself with, and not discerning the times and the seasons when the Lord has told you, hey, stop hanging out with that person. We hear these stories of wrong place, wrong time. But if people are going to be honest, something told them, don't go, don't do it. And they still went. And then something happens to people in their lives are forever changed. Some people lose their lives. And this was such a warning because I have gone through a lot of seasons where God removes people out of my life. And I've gotten to the point now where I don't expect anyone to stay around too long. And I don't get hurt when they leave because I understand the way the Lord works and moves with my life. He will bring people and he'll remove people. The ones that he's called to me, I am happy to keep them. And I pray for everybody. I love them. But I don't hold too tightly to people that God might be calling them out. And some people he calls them out forever. Some people he calls you away for them for a season. I've had plenty of relationships where God has said, for this season, don't talk to this person. Don't hang out with this person. Because whatever's going on with them and whatever it needs to happen with me are two different things. And they might contradict each other and there might be warfare. I remember when I think I shared this before, but before Louise came, I made this friend and she told me that I should not be talking to one of my other friends, that the Lord said I should not be talking to this person. And I was so offended. I said, sis, I've known this person since I was 14 years old. You just came into my life. You can't tell me who I can talk to, whatever. And, getting all upset immediately, I can still see it to this day. And this was probably 9 years ago now. Immediately, my eyes opened in the spirit and I saw this demon, tall being, red eyes with these like dread looking things. And he was walking in step with me. And so the second I stopped and he noticed I saw him, he stopped. And so the Lord showed me, and this was not a dream, I was fully wide awake walking from the bathroom. And what the Lord showed me was that that spirit had been walking with me this entire time. And because when I would move, he would move, I did not see him. And that spirit was connected to that individual who I was trying to hold on to that friendship. And I needed to let it go because that was affecting me. And I remember I was shocked. And I remember I was like, oh God, you're not kidding me. So I stopped calling the person, but I would answer their call. And I remember one time I went over to their house during this period where I shouldn't have been talking to them. And immediately I got demonically attacked that night. And I called my friend, and before I even said anything, she said, "You went to her house, didn't you?" And I was like, "Yes." And she says, "God is not playing with you." And I was like, "Yeah, I see now. He's clearly not playing. Like, I need to separate myself." And I did. And I would say it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, she calls me. She says, "Hey, God says you can hang out with that person again." And I was like, "What?" She says, "Yeah, because there was something that God was doing." The Bible says there's a time for every purpose under the sun. There are times where God is doing something in your life, and your agreement with this person is going to hinder you. It's going to keep you in a cycle. And so you're like, year after year, I'm stuck in this same place, but year after year, God tells you to let this person go, walk away. Quit that job because you don't understand what this organization is doing. You don't know the altars connected to them. You don't know what that owner is doing. You might have came in and they were one way, but throughout the years, they've been opening doors in the spirit, and you're in covenant with them, and you're opening doors in your own life. You don't know why God is saying, "Hey, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go." And we pray, "God, why aren't you doing this for me? I'm praying, I'm fasting, I'm giving." And He's like, "Hey, I need for you to separate yourself." Because anyone who did not separate themselves, they were going to get pulled underground with these people. And it wasn't even their rebellion. It was Korah, Dathan, and Abiram's rebellion. But if you were connected to them, if you were decided, you know what, let me go visit Dathan today. I'm going to go hang out at his tent. Bruh, you would have been underground with them. Why? Because you went to visit at the wrong time. And so I don't know what's going on in your life. I don't know, especially as we're getting ready to end 2024. There are some of you who are in relationships that it's time for it to end. And I don't know if it's going to be a 3 week pause like mine was, and then it was good to go, or if it was going to be an eternal thing where God is like, nah, like this is going to destroy your life. You need to back all the way back. I don't know what that is for you, but obey the Lord, because whoever did not obey on this day lost their lives. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. Do not sell your destiny to maintain a friendship. Obey the word of the Lord. I love you guys. I pray you guys have an amazing week. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Love y'all.